Hello, Sara. Welcome to Guest Host Talk
Hello,
Show.
thank you so much. How are you doing?
Can you please? Yeah, I'm doing well. How about
Mhm.
you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Is it morning or afternoon there in Egypt?
No, it's morning. It's
Okay.
8:30.
Here it's around 12 p.m.
Yeah, there is a 3.5 hour difference between India and Egypt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, can you please introduce yourself briefly?
Yes, sure. My name is Sara Ahmed, and I'm Egyptian. I'm a second year college student at Faculty of Arts, English Department, Humanities, and Social Science. Currently, I'm working as an English instructor and also a confidence coach. Just
All right. So you are working as an English faculty in a college, right?
No, I'm a student at the college, but I'm working as an English instructor at a foreign company.
Right. Is it online or offline?
No, it's online, but sometimes it's offline. We can teach in campus. It has
Okay.
some branches here in Egypt. Yeah.
All right. So what's your experience in that platform? I'm just talking about the online platform that you are teacher over there. So
hmm No, actually, about experience, I don't have much experience because I'm yet a student, but I've I've taught a lot of students, like almost 1,000 students. Um, you mean, sorry, about the experience, I just have started this job for a year. But as you know, when almost because I'm almost a student, just I need to take a little bit time to attain my dream, like in teaching, because teaching actually was never my purpose. I just got this passion to teach students or to teach people in general how to talk like a native speaker, because as you know, it's a struggle for almost all people or for everyone who's studying or learning English.
okay. So teaching is your passion.
Yeah, it recently became my passion, but for sure, I never thought about this before.
Indeed, teaching is a noble profession. So you will get a lot of admiration, respect from the public or as well as the students. So why do you choose this profession?
Um, Actually, I didn't choose this profession as a teacher or as an instructor. No, absolutely not. I'm even treating my students as friends. I never treat them as I'm a teacher and they are my students. But yeah, I just believe that I have a message and I have to deliver it for everyone who's learning English. Like most of them just really want to know how to be confident or how to speak English. So I felt that I can help. That's why I just chose this. But I never thought it as a profession that I need to be a teacher and I have a student. So that's all.
Very good.
Mhm.
So what do you think about teaching? Teaching is sometimes as a art as well as heart.
Mhm. Actually, I haven't faced any struggle in teaching yet because, as you know, I don't have a lot of experience, but I got a lot of feedbacks, which is really awesome from my students.
Mhm.
It doesn't have, you don't have to be a lot of much strict with your students, but you need just to treat them in a good way, which makes them really love their material or really love what they are doing or what they are learning.
Very good. So as an instructor, what
Mhm.
are the methods that you apply in your teaching? You are an English instructor, so you might be using a lot of methods and techniques to teach English. What's your method of teaching
Actually,
English?
it depends on the person who I'm teaching. Like many students like to be taught in a funny way. Many of them like to be taught in an academic way, but actually We will talk about this later, about the academic way. Uh, but the only thing which is common in all of them, that all of them need to know how to speak English like in a confident way. Most of them, they don't care about if they speak English like a native speaker or not, but they just need to be confident while they're speaking. That's what I'm working on. Like you need to speak English, but in confidence. So what the problem? They just feel like maybe somewhat awkward. But no, you're learning a second language, which means a second life. As you know,
Yeah.
each person which like if I'm having more than one language, means that I having more than one soul. Because as for me, as Sara, I when I speak Arabic, I feel so much like I'm another person when I speak English.
Quite surprising.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
dear Sarah,
Yes.
imagine a group of students. They don't have
Mhm.
confidence to speak English. They don't have basic in English, admin foundation. So, how do
Mhm.
you handle them? What would you teach them? They want to become a good English speaker.
Yes, actually, my course in general, I don't teach beginner. I teach, those people are absolute beginner. But for them, of course, we can start them with a small basics. And regarding to speaking, of course, we can just have a normal conversation. When my students talk to me, actually, they even tell me this. When they talk to me, they don't feel they are awkward or something. They feel that like, okay, they're talking to even themselves, and that's related to the way and your impression, the first impression the students take about you. They need to be loved, they need to be like they don't need to be feeling like they are so awkward. As I told you,
As a
they are my friends before being my students.
okay,
Hmm.
all right. So, as a student, as a teacher, as a tutor, you might understand the level of the learners, the problem of the learners, the challenges that
Yes,
they
sure.
face in learning English. So, what are the challenges or problems that they face in learning English?
Actually, each problem is because of another problem, but the main problems anyone can do if they just care about two things: the grammar. They just focus on how to speak English in a correct grammar, and the other thing, which is words. They want to just memorize vocabulary. They want to memorize words to be studying. Like, no, guys, this is totally wrong, and this make you feel stuck in learning English. Like, you need to do some creative things to study English. Like, native speakers themselves, they don't care about grammar like me or you. When you talk Hindi, or me when I talk Arabic, we don't focus on the proper grammar of the language. We just talk the slang language, or the not the proper language of our nations. Same as native speaker, they don't talk in a proper English. They talk in natural English, the slang language. They don't focus on the grammar. I'll tell you something so funny. Some couple of days, I was talking to one of my colleagues, and he is from Canada. He was talking to me so much, we were so casual. And then he told me that yesterday I didn't eat anything. I was like, what? What? What you said? Like, I didn't eat. It's supposed to be I didn't eat. As we said, a verb to do come after a infinitive. Then of course he know this, but this slang language, they never cared about if they are saying correct. But the most important thing is to do. You just care about to be understood from the listener, not to be speaking in a perfect way, like the grammar and words. This part related to grammar. Also about words, when native speakers talk, they don't talk in an individual words. They talk in phrases, like phrases or idioms or proverbs, adverbs, like so. They don't talk in a proper or individual words. That's why I always tell my students, don't focus on studying individual words. If you want to study, you need to study phrases, not individual words. That's it.
Excellent. So, grammar is a killer for every learner, even teachers. Teaching or
Well,
learning grammar is totally boring. So
uh,
how can we
but
teach
actually, it's
grammar
boring. Uh-huh.
indirectly? I mean, teaching grammar is completely tiresome or boring. So we have to
That's
apply
true.
something instead of direct teaching. So
Actually,
like
I teach
present tense,
grammar.
past tense,
Hmm.
past tense, or adjective. Like, if we teach like that structured grammar, academical
Yeah.
way, it would be totally boring for the learner as well as the teacher. So how can
Yeah.
we how can we tackle these kinds of problems?
Actually, of course, I teach grammar, but at least we need to know the basics of the grammar. I always say grammar is not important for speaking, but at least we have to know the basics of the grammar. How can we know this? By listening. How? I always, I play a track for my student, like track or maybe an audio, and I tell them this is a listening session. Why the listening? But the listening session or the track needs to be in the present simple, in the future, in the past. Okay, so after listening this part and after finishing the listening session, I choose some sentence from the track and I explain grammar on those sentences. They don't know that I'm explaining grammar, but indeed they know the present simple. Like, okay, now I got the rule of the present simple while I'm studying or while I'm having a listening session. So it won't be a little bit boring even. It will be funny, and because most of them like the listening session because they think that actually they believe that listening is apart from the learning strategies of how to be like a native speaker. So of course, like this, it will be so funny.
Yeah, listening, it plays a crucial role in English language, not only English language, but all
Mhm.
other languages. So
Yes,
if a person listens more and more, he'll be able to speak as well as write that particular language in an effective way. So listening is very, very important. Like,
of
for
course.
core skills are there: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So in these four skills, listening plays a vital role. So, you know, um, if we teach grammar directly, it
Mhm.
is not effective. From your words, I understand that grammar is not much important. By,
Mhm.
learning grammar will not make the learners interesting. So,
Yeah.
how about giving some interesting activities? What do you normally give the activities or
About
exercises?
the activity, yes, I just wanna talk about something before I come to this part. About listening, yes, of course, it's the most crucial thing to do for speaking. But of course, listening only won't make you speak. You need to practice speaking, even with yourself or even with a family member, maybe with your friends, anyway. But you need to even with yourself. By the way, sometimes when I was a beginner at speaking English, I was talking to myself. Really, I was like, okay, I'll call everything in my surroundings, and I'll call everything in English. And then I started to make a little talk with myself, and then a little conversation, and then a little presentation. I can make a presentation, and that's what I make, like the funny activities which I make with my students. Each single week, I give them a presentation or about a topic, and they have to make a presentation, like make a talk, make a presentation, grab information from wherever they want, and then the next week they have to display this presentation with me. It will be
The
a conversation.
presentation,
Yes, a presentation.
the
It will be
presentation,
a
you
pro.
mean a video presentation or any kind of
any kind of presentation, but they need to be talking with me. Like if I'm teaching online, it will be a conversation like me and you, which we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So maybe I told them, okay, today's presentation will be about work-life balance, will be about cyberbullying, whatever. We need to have a conversation together, so I'll be able to know which how much progress did he make, how much development did he achieve, like so.
So you will just give them feedback about their presentation after the conversation really happened. Then do you correct them, or do you
Mhm.
believe correction is necessary? Is
Of
correction good
course
or
we
not?
do. No, of course, correction is necessary, because if I didn't correct their mistakes, who will do? Of course
Yeah.
I need, but it
It's
depends on
okay.
the how.
It's okay.
Of
It's
course, it's
okay
okay
for
for me.
advanced learners, but in the case of beginners, if we start correcting them each sentence or each words, it will be very, very disturbance for them, and it will pull them back. Lack of confidence would be great challenges for them. So I think better not to correct them while they speak or after their presentation. If we correct them, they will feel fear, and they will have full of butterflies in their stomach, and they will start going back. They will withdraw those process. So they are really practicing. So they have to speak spontaneously, in my perception. What's your idea?
Yes, of course, you're right, but still, as a beginner, I need to, if I'm a beginner, I need to be advanced, or I need to be even absolute intermediate, maybe. So, how can I be an intermediate? I need to know my mistakes. So, maybe after each session, I send a feedback for the student who is beginner. Then I tell them that you have to prepare yourself to pronounce the th sound. You have to focus on the present simple a little bit. Of course, we will be practicing all those mistakes together, but at least we will be, a little bit closer to the higher level. But of course, I won't disturb him in each sentence and correct. Okay, okay, stop here. You made this wrong. No, of course not.
Some people will be very interested for getting their correction because they are really English enthusiastics. But a few of them
Uh-huh.
may not be comfortable with our correction. And my next question, let me just move
Yes.
on to the another part.
Mm-hmm.
So there are millions of English learners in the world. So
Sure.
you might have met a lot of English learners. So did you find any mistake in learning process? Learning English, that is a kind of process. So
Mm-hmm.
have you ever find mistake in learning process? Many people, you and I have different process. You may be practicing in a way, but I may not be following your methods or strategies. So I have my own methods to practice English, and other people, they have their own. And if you
Of
join
course.
in any institution, they will follow their module, their strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about those methods that they follow? And have you ever find any kind of mistakes in this kind of learning process?
Of course, yes. Related to the academic studying of English, which we all taught at school, this has nothing to do with our daily conversation English. To be honest, what I've been taught at school has nothing to do with English. And also, when I get to college, of course, college life is different from school, but still, there is nothing to do with really our daily conversation. Because if I thought I wanna travel to America or Canada to have to continue my studying there, maybe if I was speaking to a native speaker, depending on my school method or my college method, I won't do anything. I won't be able even to introduce myself. So for me, the academic English which we have been taught at school is totally wrong. Of course, we just the only thing which is really maybe can be useful a little bit, which is grammar, because school, as you know, just depends on grammar or focus on grammar. That's why I guess the only thing which is really useful from school is grammar. But as I told you before, our purpose or our really the real perspective for me is to teach people how to speak in a confident way, rather than even if they want to speak like a native speaker, or just they want to be understood. Because as you know, maybe for someone, no, I don't need to speak like a native speaker. For other one, okay, I just want to be understood. When I talk, I just need people to understand me. I don't have to speak like a native speaker. But other, no, I need to speak English like a native speaker. And actually, most people who are learning English, they just want to speak like a native speaker. So what we really need to do is to make people feel confident from themselves. Of course, not much instructors or not much teachers care about the confidence, but actually for me, I think confidence is the crucial thing, even more than listening. You just need to feel confident of yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to feel there is no progress. It's okay to feel like there is no development in your accent or in your ear, the hearing sense, and so we just need to know learning a second language doesn't make you feel low or feel like you're not perfect. The second language, it's not like it. Of course, it's a valuable thing, but it's not what will make you feel your value.
Okay, you are correct.
Mhm,
I totally agree with you. You know,
mhm,
like a native speaker, you stressed on that particular point. Like a native speaker, the other people can't speak. So you are an Egyptian, I am an Indian. If I start speaking Arabic, I can't I can't speak like you, the people Egyptian. You can't
mhm,
speak
yeah,
you can't speak Hindi like us. That we
mhm,
speak Hindi or Malayalam here, so you can never speak like us because we
mhm,
born and raised here in India, and you born and raised in Egypt. So you
mhm,
have totally influenced by the culture, by the society, everything.
mhm,
So you got the language from your mother, imitation, but I learned Arabic. So there is totally difference. So, if a person from
yeah,
America, Canada, or Australia, or any English speaking country, if we, other people who are from other countries, non native speakers, they cannot speak like a native speaker. So it's crystal clear that we can try to be better, but some people come and tell me, sir, I want to speak like a native English speaker. I want to be fluent in English. It's not
mhm.
possible anyway. We can speak like that,
It's
the
not.
way we can. We, our accent, our voice modulation, our tone, raising, falling tone. So it's entirely different from other people. And especially my mouth, my muscles, my tongue is not same as you. So how can I speak like a native English speaker? I can speak the way I have. So, what do you think about that? And we can practice pronunciation, phonetics, and accent. Everything we can practice, and we can attain good proficiency in English language by speaking
Mhm.
only. We will be fluent in English, but it's not possible to speak like a native English speaker. We can try.
It's not possible, but it's not impossible. Like okay,
You
I'll
can
tell
you
you
can
something.
say your
Right,
perception. It's my
yes,
perception, so
right
it might.
now,
You can
I
say.
don't, I agree with you, but I'm telling you that it's not impossible. There's something called the psychology of learning a language. The psychology of learning a language is the most crucial part. Like Sarah, start in my course. When I talk or when I teach any student, the first or the first three sessions in my course, it will be about the psychology of learning a language. From this psychology of learning any language, this the first important rule. If you put in your mind that you will speak English like a native speaker, you will do. But if you thought about that, okay, I'm not a native born, so I won't be able to speak English, so you won't be able to speak English like a native speaker. According to the muscles and according to the intonation and the stress of any language, it depends on your native language. It will be different in just two cases. The first case, if there is some letters or some sounds in English which doesn't exist in my native language, for example, actually, for between English and Arabic, we don't have this all the sounds which is existed in English, it's exist in Arabic. But maybe if I talk to Hindi and English, I guess letter the wa sound, it's not exist in the Indian language, right? Wa sound. So this will be a little bit tricky. So if you talk, you will be able to talk the whole sounds or pronounce the whole sounds rather than the wa sound. So it's okay. You're talking like a native speaker, but you just like of wa sound. That's totally fine. Maybe the Russian language. The Russians don't have the sound, so it's the most difficult sound for them. So it will be a little bit tricky, but they will speak English like a native speaker. They will sound like a native speaker, but they will be lacking of the sound. That's the first thing. Actually, I got approved for the first rule of the psychology of learning a language, which you will get what you think. Like if you think you will be able to speak like a native speaker, you will. Currently, I'm learning Chinese. Okay. Yesterday, no, not yesterday, actually, 2 days ago, I was talking to a Chinese and he told me a sentence. And when I pronounced it, I like imitate what he's saying. He literally told me that I was able to speak it like a native Chinese. So, of course, all of us know that Chinese is not that easy to make to anyone imitate the Chinese accent. But for this, you just need to practice. How to practice? Like the shadowing technique. The shadowing technique is the only thing which make you get a little bit closer to the native English. For example, when you speak in Arabic, when you speak, your face muscle move in a specific way. But when you speak English, actually, for me, even when I speak English, I feel my muscle. I feel a little pain in my muscle, in my face muscle. This pain because of your muscles a little bit changing. Okay, so if my muscle or if my face is a little bit paining, this means that I'm trying to talk like a native speaker. This means that I can talk like a native speaker one day. Of course, I'm not saying that I'm talking like a native speaker. I still have a lot to learn and a lot to practice with natives, but I'm saying it's not impossible.
All right. So constant practice will lead to achieve anything, whatever we have in our
Um,
brain or mind. So if we pursue our desire, our practice, and our intention to achieve a goal, it would definitely happen. So if a person speaks like a native English speaker,
mhm.
to
Yes, of course.
practice with that particular person or a native English speaker, then
No,
it
you
may
don't
be
have to
possible.
practice. You don't have to practice with a native speaker. I never say so. You have movies. You can do the shadowing technique. What the shadowing technique is just to imitate what you hear. I always tell my students to hear a lot. Okay, what comes after hearing? To speak. How can I speak? Just imitate the listener or the character in the movie. Like you're watching. a certain movie, you can choose a certain character from this movie and listen to what he's saying. And after listening what he's saying, you can just imitate him. Like feel like you are the main character in this film or in this movie and start to talk like him, start to feel this scene like him, start to have good impressions about this character, and you will absolutely catch your goal.
The
By the way,
problem, the
mhm,
problem, if you follow that kind of technique or method by watching a movie or a documentary or a Netflix or anything, just watching, then following, just imitating. So, that is a kind of indirect experience, and that's totally a virtual platform. So, if you want a direct experience, you must speak to a native English speaker, not on telephone, not on any application. I mean, to meet them directly and speak. So if most of the English learners, they wouldn't get an opportunity to speak with them
no,
directly. So they are just, they focus on online platforms, on Zoom, Google Meet, or WhatsApp, or any kind of application. So it's also applicable. So that provide excellent,
I'm sorry,
the direct
I guess
experience.
the connection is
That is
not working.
direct experience. I think your network is terrible there. What happened?
My my network.
Yeah. Here, the signal sees that your network is terrible. It's very weak. So anyway, no problem. We have discussed many things. So thank you for joining today, and let's see another time and see you. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.